Oh, hey folks, how you going? Welcome back to another HP Gaming GameLINK video. Today, we're going to be stalking some shady celebrities, uncovering their hidden truths, and then selling those secrets to the tabloids as we preview Megacorpin Games SCANDALOH, coming soon to Kickstarter. Oh, whoops. Sorry, Mrs. Rogers. Hello folks, welcome back. If you are joining us for the first time, my name is Matt, and as I said at the outset, we are talking all things SCANDALOH today by Megacorpin Games. And just a quick heads up before we begin that all of the components you'll see are in their prototype form. As awesome as they are, they might not reflect the final version of the game. At a glance, SCANDALOH is a 1 to 6 player deduction game in which players are tabloid journalists, and it's their job to figure out which celebrity is embroiled in what scandal, and finally which newspaper is interested in publishing the scoop. To set up a game of SCANDALOH, you'll first need to find a story to scoop. You'll do that by checking the back of the rulebook or asking the app to find one for you, and that'll give you a series of 75 numbers, and those numbers will correspond to the cards you'll need from the game deck. Gather those cards, give them all a shuffle, and then deal 7 cards to each journalist sitting at the table. Then you want to give each journalist a tracking sheet, a screen, and a scandal-solving token. After that, place the offer tokens, the inquiry tokens, and the inquiry board in the middle of the play area, but make sure you leave space for a revealed card pile. Finally, the journalist at the table who's been the protagonist of the biggest scandal has the honour of being the first player. They grab the first player marker and take the first turn of the game. Now, players will use their hand of cards to ask about and trade information with the other journalists at the table. And they use their powers of logic, process of elimination, and deduction to try to determine the correct solution. Once you think you have the solution, you'll let the other players know by placing your scandal solution token on its ready side during the aptly named solution phase, and then you take a stab at guessing the solution. If you're right, you win. Props to you and your evil stalker skills, but if you're wrong, you're out and you'll never work in this town again. Speaking of solutions, there are literally thousands upon thousands of combinations thanks to the re-implementation of the brilliant deck system that Megacorpin designed for awkward guests. And each case uses 75 different cards, and some of those cards could simply be red herrings designed to confuse you. So if you think you're going to be able to track information by who's trading what cards with which players a la Cluedo, you're in for a bad time, because this just isn't that.
Neighbours again.
I'm not spying, you're spying. Now, I will say there is a bit of a learning curve to this one, and while it does carry several similarities to its predecessor, Awkward Guests, the symbology on the cards can be a little bit tricky to wrap your head around. You might need a few goes at it before you can start deciphering what they mean and eliminating the irrelevant information. Now, that being said, once you understand that this card eliminates that celebrity and this card tells you which leads are important, you'll finally learn out or begin to discover that some cards have more valuable information than others. And that is where the inquiry, offer, and exchange phase comes in. During a round, each journalist will have a turn made up of those 3 phases: inquiry, offer, and exchange. In the inquiry step, the journalists will use the inquiry tokens and the inquiry board to let the other players know which aspects of the story they'd like to know more about. This could be digging up dirt on the celebrities themselves, finding out more information about the shady contacts within a celebrity's network, or even asking the players which other newspapers may be willing to publish the scandalous content. Once you've indicated what it is you'd like to know more about, the other journalists at the table begin the offer phase. Now this is where you'll have to sit and wait to see whether the other journalists at the table are willing to make an offer of information for you. If they are, they'll select a number of cards from their hand, lay them face down on the table in front of their screen, along with a little offer token that'll let you know just how valuable the information is. Now the total information on the cards is going to be dictated by the number in the top left-hand corner, so it might be a 1 or 3 or 4, depending on how many cards they're willing to give you, based on the inquiry that you've asked them. And this also lets you know just how much the information is going to be worth the goods. Once all journalists have decided to offer up some cards or not to offer up some cards, the gameplay moves on to the exchange phase. Nothing in this business is ever free, so you can't just take cards without offering a little bit of something in return. If you do decide to take up an offer with another journalist, you'll need to exchange cards with them by giving them cards from your hand that are of equal or greater value to their initial offer. But these cards do not have to be about the inquiry that you've made. They can be whatever you like, so long as their value is the same or better. And in the super rare occasion that no one wants to offer you any information, you'll be able to draw 3 new cards directly from the game deck. Now, trading information is a huge part of this game, and it's essential to be able to actually discover the solution. But when you're getting cards from other players, or rather receiving information from players after you kindly offered them something relevant to their inquiry, it can be really tricky to determine if they're being really selective with their information. In addition, there won't be any new cards in play until after the end of the round when everyone's had their inquiry phase, so you may find that some sneaky players may be giving you cards back that you'd given them earlier in the round. And gameplay here is pretty much the same at all counts, with the only real differences being the solo and the 2-player variants of the game. Scandaloh scales well, and the solo mode will present quite the challenge, I would imagine, if the app for awkward guests is anything to go by. In the games that I've played, I found that the 4-player count has been that sweet spot in terms of game length. It's long enough to get everyone in and hooked, but not long enough to not want them to have a second go. Component-wise, and remembering that this is of course all still in prototype, the art on the cards, the symbol design and format, even the solution trackers and the first player marker are all made really clear, and it's really obvious as to which is meant to go where. You'll even have this handy little screen to help you decipher all the symbology, and also to keep all of your hard work hidden away from all the prying eyes of those shady journalists. And staying with the components, there's one key element that I'm happy to say has evolved from Awkward Guests. All the card backs are now color-coded, which makes setup a breeze because you need only 75 cards for the game, and being able to sort them out into their color groups makes setup an absolute snap. And apart from that, it just looks so damn pretty. And that's Scandaloh. I hope you've enjoyed this little preview into the game, and if you want to know more, you can check out the link to the Kickstarter in the description below. You can also check out our prototype unboxing here. Scandaloh launches on Kickstarter in September. Be sure to check it out. As always, folks, just a quick thank you and shout out to our Patreon subscribers. If you want to jump on board and join our gamer army, you can do so by hitting up the address that is on your screen, www.patreon.com/hpgamingau, and get a ton of exclusive content. If you have any questions about Scandaloh, feel free to pop them in the comments below. Otherwise, you can always hit us up via email at orders@hpgaming.com.au as well. And of course, the store is always open 24/7 for all your gaming needs, www.hpgaming.com.au. Just a quick side note as well, folks, no matter where you are in the world, we are thinking of you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. Make sure you are looking after each other. And above all else, go out there and play some great games as well. We will see you back at the table very soon. It's bye for now.
Dad!
I'm not spying!